Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Oh, I need my microphone. Here we go. Need my mic. Need my microphone. Oh, snap. Here we go. Need my mic. Oopsie. Got an echo. Is it gone? I think it is. Yeah. Well, 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Had to fix my shirt. How you guys doing? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Let me put the link in the comment section. That way, we're going to be reacting live momentarily to this video. Wa alaikum assalam, Brother Jawad. Good to see you. There's the link. We will be reacting to a well, here's this. Oh, here you'll find out just in a moment, Jawad. You'll find out who's the speaker in just a moment. It's someone I actually, well, I mean, I've seen his videos before. However, you know, I don't think I've ever responded to him. I've done a response video on this channel, well, on any channel, but I did do a response, like a kind of response with some brothers, on Clubhouse. I did do a response there, like you know, played the audio and then, you know, that stuff. Let me find the video here. I just lost it. Oh. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Jawad. What's going on, man?
Alaikum salam. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. Excellent. What's popping, man?
Alhamdulillah. All good. What are you saying?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. Let me just find the video. A buddy of mine sent it to me. Inshallah, he'll be joining us momentarily. Let me just find the video. I probably should have done this before I started the stream.
No worries.
That's okay. Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Now this, for those who aren't aware, this is actually a... Oh, sorry, 1 second. This is actually a Catholic YouTube channel in particular. It's not just a Christian. It's a Catholic YouTube channel. So they have some very... they have a very interesting take on some things. Let me share my screen. Let me make that... But yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. It'll be interesting. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Okay, there we go. Now you see, now this for those, this is the Pints with Aquina's YouTube channel. Now here's the thing. I heard rumors about what that means. Pints. It's not something good, but it's just a rumor, so I'm not going to repeat it. However, I've heard the pints there is pints of something not very halal. In any case, but regardless, let me actually, if you guys don't mind, just give me a moment. 1 second, please. Let me just make sure everything's okay on his end here.
Charbal rice. Never heard of that.
Yeah. So it's he's
I'm on my phone, that's why I'm like right next to the
it's like, who are you looking at? Yeah.
It's 2:36 in the morning over here right
now.
So
okay.
I won't be on for too long.
Oh yeah.
But
I'll 1 second. Click the link above. So I sent him the YouTube link. Oh,
I'm guessing that this is a reaction to like a reaction, right?
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Brother Wissam. Yeah, I know you this time. Good. Here, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this right here. Let me copy the link again, and I'm gonna send it through here. Now this should work. Sorry, guys, just bear with me 1 moment, please. Just another minute or so, when we should start. There you go. Oh no, it's fine. I'm not talking to you, Sam. I'm talking. You're not my only buddy, man. He thinks just because I said my buddy, you think I'm talking about you, Sam? Come on, man. You got to be more humble than that. I'm just kidding. May Allah bless the brother. Okay. No problem. I went ahead and sent the link. We can go ahead and get started, inshallah. That's right. Chew on that, Wissam. Nah, may Allah bless you. Let's see here. Listen, Wissam, the thing is, this is a little too easy for you, man. This isn't something for this is something more for lay people, more people of like a lower caliber, like myself, and I don't know about Brother Joad, but definitely for myself. So don't. This would be like child's play for you, Anyway, let's go ahead and start the video. So, title of the video.
I'm what you would classify as a layman.
Oh, okay, cool. It's Runzi. Who's Runzi? I got my buddy Khudr on the live chat, but who's this Runzi you speak of? I don't know, man. I don't know. In any case, we're gonna go ahead and get this started. So okay. Title of this video: Muhammad, liar, lunatic, or prophet, with Sharbel Raish. Now, buddy, now we kind of came up with the name of charlatan Raish. Why, you might ask, we call him that? Yeah, let's find out. Bismillah.
So was Muhammad a prophet, lunatic, or liar? I have my answer. What's yours?
Is it
Just so you guys know, I have to make it clear. I have not seen this video. I have not watched the video. I want to make that clear. I have not watched this video. I have done no preparation for this whatsoever. Just keep that in mind, okay? This is a complete freestyle.
All right. They forgot deceived.
What? I mean, that's an equally terrible.
Yeah, but it is an option. Talking logically, right? Because but okay, no, actually, no, it's not, because then that'd still be a liar, right? Because then he would be lying about relaying information from another human source that he was deceived about. Unless it's the whole deceived by the devil thing.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think that's honestly the easiest of all. That would be the easiest of all of them to refute, in my opinion. Okay, here we go.
An either or? Can it be a both and?
Well, you tell me. What are the two you want to choose? See if they contradict each other.
So a prophet, he would be a false prophet. A false prophet.
Right, so he's not a prophet.
Not a prophet.
All right, so you got two other options, or you can throw another option.
Is he a liar? To be honest, I don't think he was a liar, because he truly believed he was possessed in the cave. It was his mother, it was his wife and uncle that convinced him that was the prophet Angel Gabriel. That now this is interesting. This is, a lot of people don't know this part, but when Muhammad was in the cave, he describes like an experience that his heart was ripped out of his chest.
That's right.
Split, drained, and put back and shoved back in his heart. Basically, he felt possessed. And when he went...
I personally am not aware of a narrative like that.
Okay, so he's mixing up two narratives. So the whole heart being ripped out.
That was when he was a child.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. When he was a child, there was an instance where we believe the angel Gabriel came and took the black spot from his heart, where about that makes you sin, or the part that by Satan. We've got Bouyer, father of the Mandalorians, on the panel. I don't know who's the mother of the Mandalorians. That's the question I've been asking for a while. In any case, so yeah, Bouyer, man, what's popping?
Nothing really. My teeth still hurt a lot.
Okay. Maybe some candy or Coca-Cola.
No, that's really bad. No, I went to the dentist. I got whitening done. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is quite a painful process.
You ever heard of whitening strips?
It's not a fun process. That's for sure. It's not.
They're extra sensitive, right? Because you put something on it, and then it.
Yeah, they make you put this little thing in your mouth that makes your jaw just ache, and then they put this blue light for like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Or 14 minutes, but whatever, right? It's only a minute.
Pearly whites. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
But yeah.
Anyway, that's interesting. You know what? If your teeth hurt, well, I think your head's about to start hurting from this.
Can I just say another thing actually about it?
You know, I thought about this, right? This guy, Sharb al-Raish, or Charbel Raish, or whatever his name is. Yeah.
What nationality is that?
This guy is he's from the East, to put it that way. He's definitely from the East. He's definitely not
yeah. I mean, like this guy. Texan. I thought about honestly for the series of reaction videos of this guy, calling it the series Charbel the Charlatan.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
He seems like a snake oil salesman. I honestly think that this guy might be another Ergun Kaner. If you guys remember.
No, I'm not familiar with him. But is this guy an ex-Muslim?
Ergun Kaner claims.
Here's the thing. So this guy, you're talking about this guy, Sharb al-Raish? Funny enough, and Bouyyad, you can attest to this. I remember I mentioned before, we kind of did respond to some of his content, but we did it on Clubhouse. He described his story of when he supposedly converted to Islam, and then converted out of Islam like a week later or something like that. It was no, but the story of this. We didn't do it on YouTube, did we, Bouyyad? No, it wasn't on YouTube. It was on Clubhouse, I'm pretty sure.
I think we might have at one point, but
his story was there were so many weird. I'll put it this way. You know how many times this guy said the Shahada when he accepted Islam?
3 times, and then take a shower.
He said the Shahada not once.
What is this new? Is this new Sufi? What is this? This new Sufi secret?
Well, here's the thing.
Didn't know about that you're supposed to take a shower after you do the Shahada.
For the people watching this, to give them some context, we watched this guy's supposed conversion story to Islam. It goes like this. He went to a mosque with his buddy. The imam there asked him like 3 or 4 questions about Christianity to supposedly debunk Christianity. He told him one thing about Islam. He told him something Muslims believe about Jesus. And then instantly, right there on the spot, this guy, Charbel, said the Shahada right then and there. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And then directly after that, went to go take a shower. And then while he was in the shower, I forget what he said.
He said a couple of Hail Marys.
He said something for the Mother Mary.
You know, whatever Catholic woo.
So isn't he there? Is he not there then admitting that he was lying when he took the Shahada? And then
I don't know. I have no idea.
Either way, this guy, his story doesn't line up.
And then not just that. Do you remember Bouyyad when he discussed? But then when he came back to Jesus again, what happened was he told the story of. And then when he came back to being a mushrik. Exactly, 100%. He went back to his Muslim friend, the same Muslim friend who took him to the mosque. And then the things he claimed that this Muslim had said were some pretty shady things, pretty weird things. Even like the youngest, most jahil Muslim would not get wrong. Things like he asked him, so do you believe Allah needs our prayers and he needs our worship? He said, yeah. According to him, the Muslim was like, yeah, Allah needs our prayers. He needs our worship.
Even though this statement itself goes directly against Kalam Allah, and when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said he doesn't need anything. He doesn't need anything from us.
Look, bro.
We're literally here just for the sake of worship.
This is like questions we ask when we're little children, when we're little
Sunday school.
Like, as we're growing up, we'll ask our parents that question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they'll give us a comprehensive answer.
It's
Doesn't make
you
any
know,
sense.
the stuff is just, I don't know, man. It's
Those were just some of the many things that were just like we kind of like raised
I
our
would like
eyebrows a
to,
bit. But
yeah, I
in
would
any
like
case,
to,
yeah,
there's a lot of problems with it.
there were a lot of points like that, like really weird. We were like, really, that happened, really? Like, I mean, I'm not calling anyone a liar here, but it's just like, really.
well, I'm sure
Right.
it's pretty likely he's embellished it.
Sus.
He's embellished.
Right.
Yeah.
In any case, let's continue. By the way,
Sorry,
mind you,
one thing I wanted to say before
Yeah.
you keep going.
yeah,
I mean, he's already making loads of errors here. So like we said, he's mixed up the narratives. You know, we are both aware of the he said that his heart felt like his heart was taken out or something, and so he's mixing up the narrative of him being a youth. We know that he was described as his chest was squeezed, so
Well,
you
it
can
sounds
see
as
how
if-
he's made that mistake, right?
it sounds as if he's. I could be wrong, but I'm going to call it. I think it sounds like he's going to go for the possessed option because he just said right now that no, I don't think he was a liar. I think he really did believe he was a prophet of God, which is interesting. I mean, some people would just call him a liar straight. This guy's like, I don't think he's a liar. I think maybe he was just deceived or possessed.
Let's take the positive for that. Even someone as sus as this guy, you know, in terms of his sincerity, still can't deny that the Prophet ﷺ was convinced about his message, right? And anybody with a grain of salt of historical sincerity can't deny that. They just can't deny it at all. That
at least he believed he was a prophet.
At the very least, you have to say that Prophet ﷺ himself was entirely convinced about his message, and lying is a really out there claim, only made by Jahal people. And the last thing before you press play, it is dichotomous. You either are lunatic or you're lying. You can't be both, because if you're a lunatic, you're convinced to telling the truth.
Because the thing is, it becomes a, how do I say this? It becomes because the problem with people that are upon lunacy, they think that they're upon the truth. They genuinely believe that they're telling the truth.
Right. Yeah. So it's not really a lie. They're saying mistruth.
Exactly. It's not the same thing as being a liar, where a liar knows that something is false.
Yes, you can be crazy and a liar.
Anyway.
You can be crazy and a liar, but then you would be in this case, it would be the lie that would take precedent, right? The liar category would take precedent.
I mean, look, put it this way. He either knew he was lying or he was mistakenly saying something false. One of those two. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Either he intentionally said something, like if he's not a prophet, he either intentionally said something false or unintentionally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's those two things completely exclusive from each other. Let's continue.
And he was afraid too. That was what he said to his wife at the time, right?
So I believe he was actually not lying.
Right. So that leaves you with an option.
And then they convinced him, no, you're a prophet of God. And it was only 40, similar age. Right? Here we go. Yeah. This is the age of realization. So as a 40-year-old, here he goes, and he goes out and he has to start convincing people about him being a prophet. And that's over time, he started to build up his followers. And so he had a lot of different.
Let's just stop right there. So first of all, it wasn't Khadijah who convinced him that he was a prophet of God, right? As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, the angel explicitly said, I am Gabriel, and you, Muhammad, are the messenger of God. So it was abundantly clear. It wasn't as if, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't as if he saw an angel, but then later on, hey, by the way, Khadijah comes to him, by the way, that was Gabriel, and you're a prophet. It wasn't like that. This guy's making
what's her cousin's name again?
Waraka bin Nawfal.
Waraka bin Nawfal. Yeah. To be generous or to be kind of fair, there is and I can't remember exactly what, but that there is a in the advice that Waraka gave Prophet ﷺ, he did say that too, that this that the thing that you witnessed, experienced was the angel Gabriel.
No, he confirmed. No, Waraka bin Nawfal definitely did confirm.
Yes. So he's cherry picked that. He's just said, okay, he said it. So that's the only source of information where he got that from, right? And it makes sense from this skeptic perspective that's what he would say, right? He would only say the human sources of information. He won't acknowledge the
no, he's not gonna. Well, no, but if you're going to take the story, you need to take the story as we believe. You can't just take the parts you like. You can't just say,
exactly. And
you can't just say, oh, okay, he was in the cave, and then next thing you know, he's being told by his wife he's a prophet. It's like, well, I mean, the angel explicitly.
This suits the crazy narrative, though. That suits the crazy narrative. Like, where is he getting the actual bits of information from? Oh yeah, confirmation from Waraka. Because unless you say he's a prophet, or you say he was deceived by some demon, which would have given this external information, and this guy isn't making that claim, right? So it has to be from Waraka. Yeah, he's already made his mind up before he made that.
But obviously that poses a lot of problems. I mean, mind you, Waraka died, wasn't it a few days after this incident? Wasn't it days or a very, very short time after this incident? So it's not as if Waraka was like, I've heard some people make the claim, well, Waraka bin Nawfal was like his secret mentor, like for what, 3 days?
Ignorance, bro. Ignorance.
You know, was it 3 days or a very short amount of time? So it wasn't as you're muted, Buyur. We can't hear you, Buyur. Where are you?
I don't know. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I was saying, I don't know if you would call it somebody a mentor if you've only known him for roughly a week, if not less.
Good point.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know these polemical arguments are
terrible.
Yeah, no. So
the more you look at them, you realize the worse they actually are.
Yeah. The fact that there's they've got a little bit of information.
A little bit of knowledge is dangerous. A very little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. And they just snap at it, and they don't care to confirm or verify the ideas that they get from that little bit of information, right? Because it takes a little bit of extra digging to realize, oh, yeah, okay, that's not true. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's continue here.
Yeah.
Peasants around, and they would come follow, and then he would try to convince the Jews, but then they didn't buy it, and then he got angry with them and started to call them, infidels. And so it's an interesting story when you follow it all. But he did do one thing. I have to give him one thing.
Do that and then give us your answer.
Yeah,
you still need to.
I still got one more, right?
Well, maybe he's a lunatic. Maybe there's another option, so you could come up with that. Right. I would say he was possessed. And I think that Islam has good in it, but is demonic ultimately. Not in that has an absence of any good in it, or there aren't good teachings, or even things that we can agree with Muslims that we would disagree with secularists. But I do think that I think he was possessed or mad or both.
Yeah, probably.
Because if you can't call him prophet, no, right, and you don't want to call him a liar. And if someone's claiming to receive revelation, he's either deluded. So maybe you don't want to go all the way and say that he was mad. You might say he was deluded. You might say he was hallucinating. You might say he was possessed. I think it's one of those. Whereas if I look at Joseph Smith from Mormonism, I would say I think he's a liar.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
So I mean, it is. Yeah, it is interesting. So essentially, I mean, I do have to give a little bit of credit. Like at very least, they have an ounce of like kind of historical sincerity. Like, okay, it doesn't really make sense to call him a liar, which is true. I know a lot of people who wouldn't even go that far, wouldn't even consider like, okay, at least these people are willing to admit that. But I mean, I think Islam is demonic. Well, I mean, other than the fact that it disagrees with you, what evidence do you have of that? I mean, we literally study. I mean, guys, this is Sunday. Guys, let's take a trip back to Sunday school, right? Before you read the Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah.
This is the refutation of the Dominic.
Remember the ayah.
I seek refuge from Satan the accursed. Seek refuge from Satan the accursed.
I remember that there's an ayah that literally says, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ.
There you go. I mean, this isn't even like I mean, look, and also, guys, keep this in mind. Even if we put that to the side. So you mean to tell me, because he said demonic, so I mean Satan, right? That would have to be Satan, right? You think a demon, or you think Satan came to the Prophet or came to basically was looking at Mecca, looking at the Hijaz, going, yeah, man, I'm not really a fan of all this polytheism. I'm not really a fan of all this Jahiliyyah. I'm not really a fan of all this stuff, man. I think they ought to worship one God. One false god, but I mean, I'd rather have them worship only one false god than hundreds of false gods. So let's just get rid of all these hundreds of gods. Let's inspire a man to say, you know what? All these hundreds of false gods, that's not good. Just worship one false god, supposedly. That makes absolutely no sense. Satan's like the epitome of
take care of the needy, feed the poor, look, be respectful to your parents, honor your women.
He said, here's the thing. He said that there are things
to mention the fact that one of the key, real quick, there's something that needs to be added here. When it comes to one of the conditions of La ilaha illallah, it's sort of a sub-condition, if you will, is the hatred of shirk. At the end of the day, you know,
like the
La
ilaha.
Yeah.
The La ilaha.
Like, for example, was it Tawheed al-Uluhiyya or Rububiyyah, the one where you single out Allah in your prayers when you worship Allah? I believe
is in terms of Rububiyyah.
Yeah. So basically, Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is singling out. It's basically Tawheed in your actions. So when I pray, I only pray to Allah. I don't pray to anything else. When I make dua, I only make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When I ultimately only fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These kind of things, like I'm singling out Allah in my actions, right? This is obviously one of the core fundamentals of the doctrine of Tawheed. Now, you think Satan was behind that? No, look. You don't have to believe Islam is true, right? You may think that, although to be honest, I mean, either if they're gonna say that, look, put it this way: either he's a liar, a true prophet, liar, deceived. I mean, I can't think of anything else. Liar would be historically very a huge stretch.
See, look. If you look at what happened there in that interaction, right? They ruled out liar, right? What does that tell you? That tells you the little bit of information they do have.
Like, it makes no sense.
That it refutes it, and it wouldn't be kind of honest to that little bit of information. They've got literally no ground at all to claim liar, so that's completely out the window, right? And then the first guy says lunatic or crazy, right? Yeah, and that, like what we were saying, was that it attests to the fact that he himself was convinced he was telling the truth, right? They can't deny that. These two people, they couldn't deny that.
No.
And the second guy, the interviewer, he says that he was possessed, right? And again, in that, there's something there as well. What does that mean? That
but to be honest,
it was non-human, right? It had to be something.
But to be honest, though, I think the possessed is just as ridiculous as the liar. I think that one might even be more ridiculous than the claim he's a liar. I mean, literally, you're saying that Satan inspired the destroying of a pagan society. Even if you think Islam, I mean, obviously Christians still like to accuse us, it's kind of desperate. Christians try to claim Muslims commit paganism with some very weak, very terrible arguments, right? But there's no way in hell you can say that the pagan society was better. Like the Arabian Peninsula now, there's no way any sincere person can say that pre-Islamic Arabia.
You know what the argument is, though, right? You know what the argument, if you want to steelman their position, Christians, it's that they throw out everything about Islam in this claim, and they literally just say that because this thing taught through the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to humanify Jesus or not deify him.
Okay, yeah, but that's just Islam.
That's the steelmanning of their position. No, it's just completely silly, isn't it? It's completely silly. Like, so he's gonna teach them that he was a prophet of God, honor him, believe in the virgin birth, that he created from clay, that he healed the sick, he did all these things. He preached to the Jews, bring them back on the path. He's a mighty messenger that's going to come back at the time. Come back and you defeat Dajjal and all these honorable, virtuous things. Irrelevant. The fact that he isn't one part of God or Trinity or whatever. A'udhu billah. That was the whole of this shaitan.
هذا كلام المشركين. This is a speech and the speech of the polytheists.
100%.
I should say, actually, no, I'd take that back. I would say mantiq. Mantiq of the mushrikeen, the reason, the rhetoric, the logic of the polytheists. These
in
people,
many ways, for sure,
with their flawed reasoning. Go on.
Yeah, in many ways. Let's continue this.
So, but I think as you say that, I know it's very difficult to say something like that and then at the same time say, I really mean no disrespect to those who would follow Islam. I'm not trying to say bad things about you. You know, the Muslim who's watching the show right now, like you might have all sorts of objections to level against Christianity, but you can still give me the benefit of the doubt of being a man of goodwill, and I could give you that benefit of the doubt while still criticizing your religion, but I don't mean any personal offense to you.
Perfect. Don't. Yeah. What's the saying? You play the ball, not the player. The ball. So it's the issue. It's the ID, and we're not making a personal.
I mean, look. I mean, right off the bat, I mean that's good, but the problem is, I don't know if I 100% believe you here because after the video I watched of your supposed conversion and then deconversion. But
the interviewer saying this, and he's just agreeing, right? He's just going along with it.
Yeah, fair enough. Look. I actually, here's the funny thing. You see, I had a conversation a couple days ago with a couple of Christians on Clubhouse, and here's the thing: I made this abundantly clear. Before I speak to you, there will be no insulting, no insulting my God, no insulting my prophet. You can tell me you don't believe in them. You can tell me you think Muhammad, peace be upon him, wasn't a prophet. No problem. I get it. Obviously, you don't believe that. You're not Muslim. I get that. But there's a difference between stating, I don't believe Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, was blank. You can, whatever, the names they call him, this, that, the other, right? There's a clear difference. Now, this guy, mind you, these guys, they're being very stubborn. Like, listen. I mean, look. When you say Jesus isn't God, I get insulted. I'm like, dude. I think there's a difference between me saying Jesus is not God and me drawing pictures of Jesus, God forbid, inappropriate images of him on my shirt. I think you would see a difference. I don't think you would judge two people who did those things the same. I think you'd say one of them, he's just respectfully stating his beliefs, and the other one, he's intending to stir up trouble. I think don't be stupid. These guys are basically playing stupid. Yeah, well, man, look, man, you say things we don't agree with, so we get offended. It's like, okay. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I'm not saying you have to say things I agree with. I'm saying you have to say them respectfully. You can say your beliefs, even if I don't like them, respectfully. Now, eventually, and by the way, I'm considering doing a stream on that conversation. I have it recorded. the replays were on, so I might end up doing a stream just on that conversation. It was hilarious, but in any case, the point is, yes, 100%. You saying respect. It's about intention, okay? Actions are judged by intention. That's what the Prophet ﷺ said. Actions are judged by intention, right? There are Christians out there, you can speak respectfully. There are respectful missionaries out there. Although we deal with a lot of the really weird ones, there are respectful people out there who are Christians who have a thing to say about Islam, but they're respectful. I'll give you guys an example. James White. I consider him a respectful Christian. I consider him, you guys can disagree. I consider him, I've seen his videos, I've seen his debates. Samuel Green is borderline, if you ask me, but he's better than most people. But I get confused.
The thing with Samuel Green is that it's like a lot of these guys are essentially same dish.
I'm not. The thing
different
is,
variation.
I've got a critique about even the respectful ones, and this applies to these guys as well. Is they dishonor productive discourse by reiterating tropes, typical tropes that have been and without addressing the things we've answered a million times. Like, we've never said these things, we've never heard these things before, we've never answered them. Like, move the conversation on. You know what I mean? Like, what have we responded to the possession allegation? What have we responded to the? And don't say you haven't heard them, because you have heard them. You know, I mean, you look at Muslim discourse, where 10 answers down. You know what I mean? You know, look at Jake, the Muslim metaphysician, how deep he's going into the Trinity discussions. Like
Jake would laugh at this stuff, man.
Oh yeah, exactly.
All these guys would laugh at this.
I'm looking at the opposite side, right? Like, look how Muslims have gone into depth in terms of the answers, and they're respecting the answers that the Christians are giving, right? So they say, oh, right. So when we say that Trinity is polytheism, then you gave us a deeper answer, and now we don't jump to that straight away. We'll investigate what model of Trinitarianism is it before we're actually looking at their own studies and respecting that, and engaging with that. That's the word. We're engaging with it, right? But these, even these respectful. If you look at the debate between Ijaz and Dr. Brown, was it?
Yep.
Yeah. I was disappointed.
I was shocked. I don't know if you saw, Jawad. Did you see the response? I did a stream where I actually did respond to that.
Okay. I went on to the chat with EF Dawa, and I mentioned it, and it's true. Like,
me and my buddy Ali, me and my friend Ali, we from Club, we did we watched the video, we responded to it. But it was
is a video up on your thing?
Yeah. It's the stream wasn't about that particular thing, but we ended up doing that eventually just because we were just chilling. We thought we might as well respond to it. But here's the thing, you see. I see what you're saying, though, because with that video, I remember the points were like, look, guys, I'm a noob at this stuff, right? But the points that were made, I'm like, this is Michael Brown's, this is the best he can think of. Really? Like, I was genuinely I was like looking forward so much to it, because I had heard about this debate prior to it being uploaded. I was looking forward to, okay, great. This is Michael Brown. This is like David Wood's adopted father, right? I'm serious. And what do you call it? It's Ijaz. Obviously, I'm sure this guy knows Ijaz. I've seen him before, so he probably knows what's definitely not gonna work. What's the arguments that are definitely not gonna work. I was shocked. I'm like, did he seriously just mention Tacitus and Josephus? Did he seriously just shoot these? Uthman burning the Quran? Really?
Yeah. Like,
really?
Look, address what we've said in response to that. Like, tell me why you disagree with our response.
Same script over and over.
Tell me why you disagree with our response to the Uthman burning the manuscripts thing. Like that would be moving the conversation on, and it's such a simple, basic discourse 101, isn't it? Like we've already answered that. So,
like I said,
tell me why you disagree. Don't just re-bring it up. You're not helping anyone.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's not just not helping, but it's actually adding fuel to.
It's a waste of time at this point. Like, why are we talking? You're just repeating you're repeating the same thing we've responded to like 7 million times.
But here's the point, though. Here's the point. It's these lay Christians think that it's a point just because they're repeating it. They're repeating it because Muslims aren't answering it, but that's not true. We've answered it in many different ways. Like, why are you not?
And by the way, here's the thing. Now, some might say, well, Muslims repeat arguments that we've Christians have responded to before. Here's the thing. Bring us an argument. How about this? If Michael Brown in that conversation was to bring, because look, he mentioned things like Tacitus, Josephus, kind of like what you said, Jawad. You already know what the response is, so show us where the response is wrong. Yes, we've brought our thoughts to the Trinity, to Jesus dying for our sins, all these things. And you guys have obviously responded to them, but we can go to the response and show why that response is flawed or why that response isn't adequate. You guys need to do the same thing with our responses.
Tacitus, you know what? To be fair, we don't repeat. Like we do, but then we're always bringing something like a different perspective to our polemics as well. Like looking at the historicity and
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with that, but anyway, let's just continue.
Yeah.
Judgment of Muslims,
right.
And again, a reminder: we love Muslims. They're made in the image and likeness of God. They will face the same judge as we will. We all will face the same judge. We'll all be treated the same. But
you cannot be a Christian and call Muhammad a prophet.
No,
can't.
No.
Have you seen what Thomas Aquinas has to say about Islam? Can you, Neil, if you have time, go to pintswithaquinas.com, type in Muslim or whatever, and there's an episode where we read what Aquinas has to say in the Summa Contra Gentiles against Muhammad. It's brutal. We won't read it now, but if you can put a link in the description to what Aquinas has to say about Muhammad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
St. Francis of Assisi as well, right?
Yeah.
He went out.
Because he went to try to convert something or other, some Muslim leader.
And that's it. You've got to... We've got to just do the same thing. Present the truth in love, and never make it personal.
Because no one is super open to the thing you're telling me about. If while you're telling me about it, you're also insulting me or coming off as super condescending. It's very hard to hear you if you're doing that.
Exactly. And I know we need to respect that. Like flip the tables.
Yeah.
Do we like it if people are insulting?
Yes. No,
the
we
Blessed
don't.
Mother, and then all you Catholics are idol worshippers, and all you Catholics are this or that.
Yeah.
No, it's not nice. It's not right.
No.
We were talking about truth here, and it's an objective thing, and we have to look at it in unity and in peace and with an openness.
Yeah, there's a great deal we can learn from our Muslim friends. A great deal.
Oh, my goodness.
Think Christianity would become a lot more masculine if it would look to how Muslims practice their faith.
They have elements of the truth.
Yeah,
and that's what we say all religions.
Less polytheistic if you took from what we said.
Yeah, you'd be a lot less polytheistic, a lot less. Trust me, a lot of things would be fixed if you were to follow Islam. Trust me.
I mean, like he's using the point of Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's literally the biggest W you guys even have for your theologians. Because, not to mention, we've got Ibn al-Qayyim, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Mahdi, we have Ibn Ali ibn Hazm.
Yeah.
We have the likes of, regardless of what people want to say about him, right? Al-Ghazali, and so on and so forth. I have multitudes of people. So,
well, I mean, to be fair, it's like, I mean, look, I do have to, I mean, obviously, saying, okay, be respectful, they're not going to like it. Just like we don't like it when they say Jesus isn't God. Fair enough. To be honest, I mean, I that's great. The problem is, I mean, okay, obviously consider me biased, but the arguments you've made are kind of terrible. I mean, look, put it this way.
Yeah, they're not even.
Put it this way.
I'd really consider these things as non-arguments, honestly.
Exactly. Like for example, I mean, look. For example, he goes, well, you know, I mean, to be honest, I haven't heard much of reasons why. They basically they answered the question, but they didn't really give much reason. I said, oh, I think he's not deluded. He said, or he said deluded, I think, but he also said possessed. You haven't really given much reason why he's possessed, other than the mixing of the narrative at the beginning. You get the other guy gave. He said, well, ripping out the heart. That's not even.
You can make any claim. You can make any. I think the Earth is flat.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's not really like
opinion, mate.
They're not really giving. I mean, maybe that's not the intention of this video, but they didn't. Yeah. I didn't really hear a reason as to why you think he's possessed. I mean, to be honest, I think the possessed option is just as ridiculous as the liar option. I do grant them credit for saying that for agreeing that the liar option is quite historically idiotic. But to be honest, if you knew just the most basics, and I'm sure they know at least a little bit. If you knew just the most basics of Islam. To say that it's from Satan, I mean, look, other than the fact that it disagrees with you, I don't see what logical reason you'd think that. In Islam, every time we recite Quran, we say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge from Satan, the accursed. Islam insults Satan, exposes Satan, right? It tells us to seek refuge from Satan. And obviously, Islam opposes all the things that Satan loves. Islam destroyed all the idols of Arabia. Now, even if you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala isn't the one true God, there's no way you can tell me that Arabia was a better place before Islam than after Islam. There's no way you can tell me that it is satanic to destroy 300. I don't know how many idols were in that.
I mean, to be fair, you have idiots, right?
Yeah. Well, obviously.
You have idiots who clearly don't know about out of the history. Before Islam, they say, "Oh, Arabia was a tolerant and diverse society." No, it wasn't.
Not even. No, it wasn't. Nowhere near that.
You know, the only thing you have to do.
But what are they basing that on?
I mean,
they're basing it off of lack of knowledge, and you know.
Yeah, but they can't be making that claim in a vacuum. Is it because
they couldn't be, but I'm saying the thing that it is that could be definitely said about it is that it's based on lack of knowledge. Because if you go to my neck of the woods in Junub al-Arab, it's in Junub al-Arabi, it's how do I explain this to you? It was very intolerant, in particular to Christians. So much so that you have a particular figure known as Dhul Nawas. Dhul Nawas was a king in Yemen. He was, debated. Some say that he was Jewish, right? But he was known to be very harsh against the Christians to the point to where he had Christians massacred, which actually led to the Aksamites invading part of Yemen. This is actually where the story of Surah Fil comes into play here. And in the Quran, it has to deal with the men of Abraha. Right. This is what it led from. This is what the cause was because of the actions of Dhul Nawas.
Elephant, yeah.
So, like the fact that people make these types of just absolutely stupendously idiotic talking points, they don't know what they're actually talking about.
Yeah.
Well, when this is what it takes to argue against them, wallahi, I have to say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I mean, look, okay. When people are forced to grant, when there are people with even the slightest sincerity who say, yeah, it can't be a liar, but then they have to resort to an equally stupid option, no disrespect, being possessed. So you think Satan decided, I want to create a religion. I'm not a fan of was it 300 idols in Mecca? Something like that. I'm not a fan of the hundreds of idols in Mecca. I would rather have them get rid of all that, worship only one true God. I would rather have them, instead of knowing nothing about Jesus, I would rather them at the very least believe that he's the Messiah, he's born of the Virgin Mary, all these things.
This is the problem with the claim. This is the problem with the claim. the whole idea is of the possession theory is to deceive people about Jesus' true purpose here, and and all this stuff. But
you want to know something funny? A funny trick I learned. So you know how they claim that Muhammad, peace be upon him, basically in the Quran, basically affirms the Bible. You know that claim they make. By the way, that's actually what that's related to the conversation.
What Dr. Brown said.
One second. So the conversation I had on Clubhouse, which I might, I can't promise, but I might do a stream about, was about that topic. You know, it's ironic. If they want to claim that the Quran is from Satan and that the Quran affirms the Bible, that would mean Satan affirmed the Bible.
Yeah. It's a good point.
So
they're trying to have their cake and eat it, right? Yeah. They can't make, so those two claims are problematic, and together they can't make both claims.
But you know what?
There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues with it.
I want to give credit to near the end of that video about where they're talking about respect and not 100%. And not reciprocating insults or whatnot. And I hope that Christians, at least listen to that part carefully, because a lot of them are quite freaking nuts. They're quite aggressive and insulting, and I'm not saying all, of course. There are some sound ones, but a lot in these kind of, you're on Clubhouse, you would know.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's some people, definitely some. I've definitely learned. I've gotten better at knowing who's worth talking to and who's not worth talking to. I still got to work on it. Not gonna lie, I still make that mistake. But it's definitely something that I've gotten at least a little bit better at. Maybe Bouillir, maybe you guys have. I don't know, but me definitely, I've learned. I've gained a little bit of hikmah on that, a little bit. Definitely still got a lot more to gain though. But anyway,
I'm just a watcher most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm just a watcher and a listener.
I might actually, because I want to keep this stream in particular short, because it's about a particular topic, I might open another stream in a little bit, just like a chill out stream, whatever. If anyone wants to, whatever.
I'm gonna bounce.
No problem. Yeah, inshallah, alhamdulillah. Because I know, I like to do streams about particular topics, and I also like to do just chill streams, But I don't like to do both at the same time, because I don't like to.
Fair enough. Real quick, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I've gotta go take the trash out. Family's like on my neck about it.
I'm probably gonna close the stream. I might open it up in like 15-20 minutes again. I'll open another stream just to chill.
I guess have this hiatus period and then have the part 2 to it.
I suppose so. But anyway, I'll catch you.
You might get more international followers if you come on different time. What's your time zone?
Pacific Standard, California. The problem is, here's the thing.
I'm Central Standard.
Yeah, it's a very difficult time to be. Not. It depends. So here's the thing.
I work with Eastern Standard Time folk, and
so you're based. I'm guessing.
UK. Yeah.
You're not London. I'm not gonna say Midlands. You're not Midlands.
I am Midlands. I'm Midlands.
Okay.
But I don't have a.
You sounded close to Midlands, not entirely. Yeah. So, but I was gonna say, so for perspective,
Peaky Blinders, man. Peaky Blinders.
Mr. Da'wa over Dunya over here is 8 hours behind you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm 6 hours.
Yeah.
I got a buddy of mine in Malaysia that I talk to. Like I try to help him out with a certain.
Literally inside the world.
Yeah, it's literally like almost 24 hours ahead. It's for crazy. But you know what? It's the issue is, you see, the reason why I can only really do streams like this pretty much are Thursdays, and for me it's Thursday night. So obviously it's Friday morning for most of you guys. But it's because I started working a couple weeks ago, trying to save some money before I transfer to another university, and I work actually at night. So in the daytime, I'm either going to class, because I am taking some college unit, or I'm running errands for my family, or doing something. I'm dropping off my sisters at school, so it's a bit difficult most days. And at this time, like I literally woke up about 7 hours. It's 7 p.m. I woke up literally around noon today, a little bit before, because I'm from work. So
all right, guys, I've got leave for a sec. I don't know if you guys will still be back on.
No, I'm gonna close it down right now. But Jazakallah khair, I appreciate being here. I'll catch you guys later, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, that was good. Like I said, I might keep it. I might open another stream in a few minutes. I won't say exactly when, but in the next maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes maybe. Maybe not 30 minutes, maybe a little bit before that, but we'll see, inshallah. But anyway, brothers and sisters, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Notice, I mean, I don't really know how to videos like this. Look, videos like this, I mean, I know they're meant to I don't know if they're meant to take away my iman, but wallahi, they reinforce my iman when these kind of arguments, no disrespect, when this level of terrible arguments are being presented, I can't help but then testify la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I have to. If this is the level of argumentation they need to go against Islam, to claim that Islam is satanic, despite all the things that we mentioned, all the things we listed, right? I'm not going to repeat it, but all those things, you want to claim Islam is satanic. I mean, to each his own, but I don't know, man. Anyway, guys, I'll go ahead and shut it down. I'll be live probably again in a few minutes. It'll probably be a chill stream, but I might respond to something else then, something chill, whatever. But it'll be a chill stream, probably in, I'd say 20 minutes maybe, inshallah. Anyway, catch you guys later. Be sure to join that if you guys can. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.